What is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video of Octave Gamer. Today I am back for another video, but this one is certainly different. This time I'm using my voice, so I hope you guys are happy. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a setting which could change the aspect of your F1 mobile racing. If you don't know what I mean, this could help you when you're racing in dual, single race. Sorry about that. Single race, duels, events, and just when you're practicing. In short. So today I am going to show you this one setting. It's got to do with the way you drive your car. Actually, it is not the way you drive your car. It's the way you turn actually. And no, it's not controls. No. It is actually something to do with the turning sensitivity. Most of you won't know what this actually means, but that's why this video is there. Step 1, meaning of sensitivity. Now, as we get to the point where we start learning about this sensitivity in the actual game, now we have to understand that we can't just jump straight to what settings we can put in the game. We have to go through meanings of what this actually does. So the meaning of sensitivity is basically like, if we are talking about racing games, especially mobile racing games or just other racing games, we would have to think that sensitivity means how fast you turn. Like you turn as quickly as you can through the corners. Now on screen now I've got an example of how that actually applies to racing. So as you can see from the screen, it's a bit like, it's not like the car is not stationary, we are actually moving it. So these settings, we'll get to that later in the video, but you have to know what sensitivity does. Well, if you're going through a fast little corner, like let's just say the Wall of Champions or just the last chicane in Canada, the car feels stiff. Depending on which setting you have put, the car could feel stiff, it could feel balanced, it could also feel light at the same time. But if the car feels so stiff, then it means you put a highest sensitivity setting. If it's a lower steering sensitivity, the car could feel a bit light when turning, or which could mean more easier. But in F1 mobile racing, it applies to opposites. So if you put this type of setting, the car would feel lighter. If you put this type of setting, the car would feel heavier or just stiffer. If you would put this type of setting, then the car would absolutely feel just balanced, stiff and soft at the same time. It is almost something to do with suspension settings. But I'm very sure that now we can move on to our next step, and let's hope I'm not boring you guys out, because this could actually help you one day. Moving on to step number 2, why stiff, why light? We'll get started with why it is stiff. If the controls feel so stiff, especially when tilting, it may have something to do with, let's just say, because if you feel like it is so stiff, you may just be thinking it is stiff because if you put it on the lightest setting, the car would be going it would be overturning in short, not oversteer, but just overturning. But then when you come to why so light, you might put a stiffer setting to avoid the car from just like turning simply. When it is light, the car turns faster and also turns fully. But again, the disadvantage is that you can overturn the car or just turn it a bit too sharp or a bit too lighter that you could even go off the track. If it is on a stiff setting, it could feel hard to control the car. The car wouldn't go fully to the left or the right, but it would prevent your car from overturning at times, but I'm not certain. But if you leave it unbalanced, it is also stiff and light. It could feel the same, but depending on some of you's upgrades, it could feel a bit different. So this has something to do with suspension, but in F1 Mobile Racing you can't customize the suspension, or you can't do things just like customize the suspension settings. It's just the way Codemasters coded it or just made it, because they don't want people to be messing up their settings, because the more people mess up their settings, it could also have big effects on the game ratings. So that is why Codemasters decided not to put those things in the game and also just leave it out. Now, some of you may think that's just a silly thing to do, but it is right of Codemasters to do that. So sometimes you just have to perfect settings on your own. It could be because of your upgrades and also just the way you drive, because between the two, it must be one of them. It cannot be the settings. It could be the way you drive, your upgrades, or just even the controls could have something to do with it. So you may want to watch out on your settings. So I think now we can move on to our third step, which could be the final step on perfecting this. Moving on to step 3, is it my car setup or my driving? Now, in F1 Mobile Racing, it can get really frustrating when you always spin out blaming the car setup, or maybe it just could be your driving. Well, for a setup which could take you to better turning, you might want to focus on the handling of the car. Forget about steering sensitivity for now. Just try to focus more on the handling. You can check your R&D. You can check the R&D menu and go down here to handling. You might think handling is not the best idea, but trust me, I can tell you that the handling of your car could be what is not benefiting you in terms of the steering sensitivity. Just take this for example. You're coming into let's say Le Combe of Spa. If your handling is great, you take the corner as amazingly as you've seen on screen. But if it's bad, then I'm not sure. Your car could just be going slow. You could just not be making the corner, and that sort of thing of crashing just always happens. But if you think your handling is not being improved, just try making a few tweaks in the R&D menu. If it's still not working out, then try getting some R&D cards. Just by playing duels, when you level up, you can manage to get R&D cards. If you manage to advance to a different league, then you will get cards. And also every day, if you have not checked your cards menu, like it could show the cards on the right hand side when you want to play a duel. Try this. Try opening them up and getting R&D cards. If they help your handling, that could benefit the turning so much. So you may want to keep an eye out on handling, because this is all about steering sensitivity, and if you can benefit from that, then I'm very sorry, but your car may not just be heading for the barriers. You could also be heading for major disasters and just bad racing coming your way. But guys, I don't wish to hurt anyone's feelings by saying their driving is bad or their upgrades are terrible. No, I don't mean to say any of those things. I'm not even proving this to show that I am the best. I actually could be one of the worst. I'm just showing this to show my experience in the game, giving you guys some advice. So that's the end of this video. And if you did enjoy it, then do remember to smash the like button. Also remember to subscribe, because liking and subscribing really helps the channel out. It also helps me out because I feel so great when I find my subscribers watching these videos, finding people from around the world coming to tune into these videos and also subscribing. So subscribe, follow me on social media, the links will be in the description. Remember to join the Discord server, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.